Hey, I'm on my way down to the main road, and I thought I'd put the camera on and put it on and show you how nature has started to repair the damage. Well, things like this, of course, will have to be repaired by man, because all of that is now dead, so no other way around it. It's got to be cut, burned, whatever they decide to do. The trouble with these trees, these are mango trees, and apparently the wood is just not good for anything other than being a mango tree. And I remember how this was demonstrated to me when we were repairing one of the houses that we built out on the end of the road project. The last, if you watch that video, you'll know that the last house that we did was close to the road, and when the typhoon came, a mango tree fell on that house. We've repaired it now, and it's looking fine, but it was a mess. And when I mentioned to Beth, I said surely we could use this wood, and she took me over to a cut end of one of the branches, and it had a really yucky, sticky resin that you just couldn't get off your hands. So imagine using tools on that, and it would be pretty awful. But if you look out now, this is by the house that we always called the secret house in the mountains, and it was only that because we made a secret of we were going to do some repairs. As it happened, they moved in and did the repairs themselves, and so we could only help. So it was no longer a secret, but the name stuck. And you can see there that the branches are torn down. If they get really bad, they're not going to recover. And I think I don't think that is going to recover. The thing is that they can thrive as fallen branches. But if you look now, when this typhoon passed through, it stripped every tree naked. All of the leaves gone. It stripped them all. Let me wind that window down. See now, this looked a real mess. You can see down there destroyed trees, but the thing is that they've come back, and even as I was saying, yes, but they look so ugly, and now they don't look ugly. It's as if the tree, if it were alive, has accepted the damage. The fallen trees are being given, the fallen branches are being given the help that they need. And except in the case of the tree just having been severed, then it can recover. Now, you'll see here, look at this tree here, and what's happened with that tree is that it has been badly broken. And this is what we found with the typhoon, that the typhoon was so strong it could just snap a tree in half. Now that one there has suffered some real snapping, and some of the branches, see, look, that's a snapped branch there, but it hasn't been too separated from the tree, and so it's thriving. It's got all of its leaves on, and eventually will look as if it's supposed to be like that. The other branches, they're dead. That's because there's no nutrients coming from the tree itself. And there's another one. It's just dead. It's lost contact with the mother. Now these are also dead, and I'm about to drive into a load of dead stuff. Now this is a problem for us, and I have to get out. The rain comes, and heavy torrential rain that we're having lately, and it pushes these dead branches around, then they scrape on the side of the truck, and I'm not very happy. But if you look over there, when the typhoon had been through, this was like a graveyard for trees, and you can see why. There's some there that will never make it, and there's others there. Well, the ones that did make it you can't see because they're already looking great, but you can see there the dead ones. Well, when it first happened, it was as if it was all like that. And all of these trees, see, they've been wrecked and rearranged, and so have those. You can see the bits that have been separated and the bits that haven't. But in the main, the tree is now looking beautiful again. Now down here, I remember down here, this was very ugly at first. So many trees brutally rearranged. Look at that one there, and this one here. See, those will never, they'll never recover, but they'll form. Now look, remember what I was just saying about how the typhoon could just snap trees, and that one there, it's been snapped, but it's just got a tiny little bit of connection, and so it's just hanging there, but it's not alive, it's dead. And then you had these coconut trees, and they're so high, why didn't they come down? Nature has a funny way of protecting some. Here, this tree has been badly rearranged. And this one here. See, look at that. It makes me sad to look at these trees, and they're so brutalized. Now, a funny thing about how our life in the mountains goes. Before, I always used to say that we could not see another house. At night, when we were coming home, I could see at most 3 lights. In fact, maybe 4 lights, but 2 or 3 of them belonged to oping, and we knew that they were opings, so that left just 1 or maybe 2. Forgive my bad math. See, look, plenty of destruction down there, but it's recovering. These trees here, look how tortured that tree is, but as soon as it starts getting dressed up again in leaves, it's not so bad. See, now the birds don't mind those dead branches. I was amazed the other day when we were ordering. Beth was at the quarry. We'd gone to the quarry, and Beth was at the desk ordering up some soil for the property that we're working on, and I was next to a tree like this, very sparse tree, and I watched a pair of hummingbirds go about their business. Wonderful, wonderful to watch hummingbirds. They're there like tiny helicopters, and they just hover. Not many flowers on that particular tree, but obviously they gain nutrients from some part of the leaf. There we are, look. So now when it first came, it left almost all of the trees look like that, just stripped bare of their finery. And down there you can see that there's so much destruction, but then nature rearranges itself, and there are animals who are more than happy with the joys and food that fallen trees bring. This one, look, has been snapped in half, and part of it is now there. But what those parts of the tree may bring for nature will be in vines, and those particular parts of the tree may get covered in vines, so they'll be the scaffolding, if you like. See, now there's a coconut tree that's just had its head taken off. It won't survive, it will just become sad and lonely. Beth thinks that these trees do not prosper because they are not near people. I wouldn't want to argue about that, but if the tree is taken care of, it does better, and that's something that you can't argue with. I look at these, we see lots of these now. These are the coconuts, and they've been sawn off to free up the road. Once the typhoon had gone, we were completely blocked in at the house. We called our friends on the chainsaw crew, and they came up with about 15 or 20 young men with strong backs, and they had the two guys who cleared the road, and the young men quickly got all of the debris out of the way, and the road was cleared. Road was cleared in just an hour, amazingly. But they always remind me as elephants' feet, the ends of elephants' feet, legs, and we see lots of them. So this road had about 12 different places where all of the trees on the side had fallen across, and it was really badly blocked. But the chainsaw crew come in, and they're very, very skilled, and they get rid of all of that and push it off to the side. Eventually somebody will come and maybe use that for firewood. There'll be firewood in the Philippines, certainly in Bohol, for, let me see, I would think 2 or 3 or 4 years. Look at that there, look. Now all of that was completely chaotic. There's a tree that will struggle to recover, but there are green leaves on it, so who knows. And our road every so often will deteriorate into what we're going through right now, which for some reason the drainage is not very good there, and so it holds the water that once people keep passing through it, even motorcycles, and it's soon in mud. Now over there you can see the coast, and the large dark mass that's on the horizon is Cebu, the island of Cebu, and then in between there are other islands. That particular stretch of water, which if I were to go back, see that particular stretch of water, it was filled, I believe, as many as 50 or 60 or 70 stranded boats, big boats, ferries and stuff like that, that were thrown up onto the beach. And now they're waiting, apparently, Beth tells me, they're waiting for an extra high tide. But we didn't see any of those roofs then. We didn't see any roofs, didn't see any lights. And over there, the same. We didn't see, all of this foliage has been stripped. And so now, I don't know which one. It could be the one that you're looking at direct, or those other ones over in the corner of the window. But that's Lovely's village. So we've got these little trials, can't see what on earth is coming, just have to sound the horn. But right now, if you look, you can't see over the end of the hood. This probably is one of the reasons, well, it's not probably, it's the reason that the Raptor doesn't look as lovely as it used to do, because when the heavy rains come, as I said before, it pushes all of this foliage in towards the road such as it is, and that it scrapes along the side of the truck. So body wise, it's not looking quite as nice. Plus, without realizing it, I must have gone over some white line work, and it threw up a few flecks, not many, and tiny, but enough on a new Raptor 3 years ago to make me mad. See, now this, I'll have to clear that back over time. I've had to. And there, look here. Actually, this must have really been in a very powerful place as far as the typhoon went, which you can see. See, and the damage is excessive. See, now this is all growing up even more. That's what we always call that, the haunted house. We did one of our first sort of funny videos, funny exchanges between Beth and I. We found out that when it was on video, some of the exchanges with us, mostly my confusion, were funny enough. And see, look here, this is mango again. Now that's just, it's not being uprooted and moved, so it's still a going concern. Whether that will ever recover enough to produce mango fruit will be interesting. See over here, there's a couple of trees there that have been pushed over. There's a coconut, been pushed over but not quite done in. And for this one, so there's some heavy damage. That used to be a house there. The house has gone. I don't know whether you can see the base. House has gone. I knew that needed to go. They built a really nice house there. Now I've got more damage here, look. See, now I don't even know where the base of that tree was, but it certainly was ripped off. So this very nice house there. And a nice little house there. It's always very nice that. I think they've had a new roof put on. Probably when there's a certain amount of damage, you may as well just do the whole roof. And this one, the roof was a complete wreck. And they've gone and they've put on a different roof. Put on that modern flat roof, angled on different sides. And they're still working on that, doing a nice entrance with windows on either side. So I'm almost at my main road, the national highway. This is one of our houses here. A good place for me to end off. And that's one of the little houses that we built. We built that for the old lady. In so many cases, a grandmother will have stepped up and is taking care of 1 or 2 children, and that's the case there. And somehow she makes out. So we gave her a house, and that is a really cute house on split levels, because it's right on the top of the hill and the hill slopes off at the back. Very nice though.